Hello everyone and welcome to another Pokemon Pocket video. Today it's another deck list video on yet again Blastoise. I feel like I'm the only person talking about Blastoise or enjoying it or winning many games with it. And I've created a new build today we did earlier on stream and I feel like it works really well. It's Blastoise EX as you can see of course and it does have Starmie in it, which is very popular right now. However, it isn't Starmie EX, it's just regular Starmie. And the main point of this discussion will be to get to why Starmie is in there and what it does versus Starmie EX, because we've discussed this before, right? The idea of this style of deck, or really any deck that runs Blastoise, is you want to have a Squirtle on the bench, evolve it, give it tons of energy through just giving it energy naturally every turn, and also using Misty to maybe, get you over the line to be able to increase its Hydro Bazooka to 160 damage. And you want to do that as smoothly as possible, and you want to buy yourself time to do that. Because even though Blastoise is a very good Pokemon with, one of the few EXs that's two-stage evolution, with like a double attack for an okay amount, the 3 cost 100 damage is decent, but when it really goes up to 160, you really want that 5 energy. That's where you want to hit. And the way we get there with this list is with Staryu and Starmie. The reason we don't run Starmie EX are because of the differences between EX and regular. Of course, the benefits of Starmie EX, and you can try this list with it if you want, is that it has more health, and it does way more damage, right? It does 90 instead of 40. However, that's where the similarity is, that's where the benefits actually stop, because Starmie regular, it only does 40, but it's got 90 health, which is pretty solid, and also 0 retreat cost. So you can start, or you will want to start with Staryu, maybe, deal 20 damage, whatever, but once you've committed that 1 energy to a Staryu, you are done. That's it for that whole Pokemon sort of duration in any given game. Because then you can evolve it very quickly and start wave splashing everything, and like 1v1 in the early game, it either will take out some initial Pokemon or basic Pokemon, or it will really chip away at the likes of Mewtwo, because it survives a sphere, so they deal 50 damage from Mewtwo pretty easily. And then also, if you put a potion on this, they will need a Giovanni to clear it off in 2 hits, because if you potion it, it's going to last 3 turns against a Mewtwo EX, and that's after it's already sort of done that ramp, all the while giving 40 damage to it every turn. So it's pretty nice. It can draw out potions, it can draw out Giovannis, and so on. And while you're doing this, you might have a second Staryu on the bench, which will be another Starmie with maybe 1 energy. But the idea here is, while you're doing this and Starmie sort of tanking a lot of damage and dealing damage to maybe chip away some early, you are building up that Blastoise, and it feels like a very cheap and effective way to get over the hump in certain games. And it ticks the box where a lot of other tanky Pokemon that people try are about as tanky as Starmie, except you only need 1 energy and you don't need to use an X speed, you don't need to use anything. 1 energy and you're dealing 40. If you even look at Lapras, Lapras is 10 more health and 1 energy, you deal 20. Yes, you can Misty Lapras for potential more, uptime on the damage and higher damage output, but really, like, this feels like it's a lot smoother. And yes, Lapras is a single Pokemon, of course, and not a 2-stage evolution, but this helps fill the bench out and keeps it consistent. I don't really like running tons of different types of Pokemon, tons of different evolution lines, and I do like to really keep it to what Pokemon do I want to win the game? What's my game ending? Blastoise EX. And then what support Pokemon is there? And because the only ramp for water right now in the game is Misty, which is not a Pokemon, I think you want the tank, you want the time sort of soak-in ability to get Blastoise up to that 3 to 5 energy. And yeah, I think Starmie's done it really well, and again, it keeps the deck a little bit cheaper. Yes, you need the Blastoise EX, but that's it. Like, everything else, extremely gettable. Obviously, the Staryus and Starmie is easy. Squirtle Wartortle's easy. Trainer cards, you can get them easy as well. So it's a very, it's not super expensive. We're not looking at like Charizard EX, where you want 2 Moltres EX, 2 Charizard EX, and then everything surrounding that. So it's not too bad. This deck I played with today, I really enjoyed this Starmie. So we'll give it a few games and see how it goes. Okay, here we go. Let's have a little look-see. We are going second, which is generally considered the good outcome. We have Squirtle, but no Staryu, but we do have a Pokeball. This is a little bit frustrating. I'd rather it be the other way. Maybe we Pokeball into another Squirtle, which will be fine. But this is where the X speed comes into play, honestly. This is mainly where we want to X-speed the Squirtle away into a Staryu, if possible. But we'll see, they are running Pidgeot as well, so this could be a little bit spicy when it comes to defending our sort of growing Squirtle into Blastoise. So let's see what they're going to do. Pidgey into Pokeball. Let's see, is it going to be the Arbok deck, maybe? Pidgey can kind of run with anything. I think the only drawback of Pidgey is if you start to run Pidgey with another sort of two-stage evolution line, you start running a lot of Pokemon. So maybe we're going to look at the Ekinzab. Oh, Cubone and Sandshrew. Okay, we're looking at a bit of a mixed bag here. Shouldn't be too bad, though. Okay, well, there's the X-Speed. So let's Pokeball first. Always Pokeball before we Professor's Research. We got another Squirtle. Okay, we won't really need the X-Speed as of yet. Unless this is exactly Staryu. Starmie. Wait, another Pokeball. Okay, we've got a pretty good opening here. Okay, so it's not so bad. So here we can actually Squirtle here. We can Staryu here. We can give the Staryu the energy. Then we rock our 1x speed that's literally in the deck for this exact situation. We get to retreat the Squirtle into safety. Bring the Staryu out. Get 20 damage in. And then if they do not evolve that Pidgey next turn, it's just done and dusted. And whilst we build up the Squirtle, this is what I was talking about in the little rundown. That Staryu and Starmie, we've committed everything we have to commit to it for the rest of the game. It costs nothing to retreat. Once it's a Starmie, sorry. And the 1 energy is going to start dealing the damage. There's the Marowak. So we're going to have to start dodging coins here. But if we can just hold to this Blastoise, as long as they don't red card us, which is very scary. If we can hold until we get to this Blastoise, this game should be pretty tidy here. Okay, this gets very simple. Pick your Squirtle. Pick whichever one you want to start juicing up. We throw Starmie regular out. We throw Wartortle out just to start hand dumping a little bit. And then already, Pidgey's done. And even now, look at the health on Starmie. If this Marowak comes out, they need to double heads to take it down. And if they don't, or Giovanni 1 heads, of course. But if they don't double heads or destroy it in 1 turn, we get 40 damage on the Marowak, which suddenly means just a normal cannon from Blastoise will actually clear off the Marowak and win us the game. But Marowak is a bit of a spicy meatball. I do like a Marowak. I've built a cool deck with him. There's a miss, though, so they didn't Giovanni. Okay, so Starmie is going to tank Marowak EX. And again, we've invested 1 energy into this Pokemon. Oh, this is huge. Hang on a minute. Let's just hold. Let's see what Misty's going to give us here. And this does allow us as well. The Starmie allows us to put an energy on Staryu or Starmie, and then all the Misties go to the Blastoise. There's never any sort of shenanigans that go on. Well, okay. So this is an example of what can happen. Of course, in the world where we don't do this, where we don't high roll the Misty, we deal 40 damage, bring it down to 100. Then they still have to roll ahead to take out Starmie. But we live in this world where we just high rolled Misty. Blastoise comes out. We don't even have to care whether we use this energy or not, because we're already up to 5. Starmie gets to retreat for 0. And again, if we were worried, we could have retreated Starmie in for Squirtle and then brought it back out later. But now we just Hydro Bazooka for 1,000,000, and that is going to be a pretty easy game. But already, I hope even in that just snippet of a game, you can see the potential power of this Starmie and how little resources you need to put in. Okay, here we go with another game. Let's see how we get on. We're going second, which is pretty good. Means we get to go off with Starmie, and we do have the hand for it. Okay, this hand is looking nice. Staryu into Starmie for that early security that we were talking about. Pokeball, Professor's Research, and then a Misty if we can get hold of a Squirtle. Yeah, this is the hand you want to look for, just in case you want any advice on opening hands. Because there's no mulligan in Pokemon, it's kind of interesting to, like, are hands worth talking about because you don't have much control over them. But I do think when you play cards is interesting because there's a mixture of red card exists that your opponent could play, which could mess you up, but also evolving your Pokemon too early can be bad, can cause trouble, whether it's trouble with retreats. If you're like, I've had it where I Blastoise EX too early and then they Sabrina'd it into play and I just couldn't retreat it and it's just sat there taking hits. So but if it was red carded away, I may not have a Blastoise EX to evolve into at all. So really tricky. Looks like we're going up to against one of the sort of meta decks at the moment, which is the Mewtwo EX. Obviously, this one has a Kangaskhan in for a little bit of that tanky early game. We did hit the Squirtle, which is going to be very, very nice indeed. Because we don't need the energy on Misty right now. I am going to Professor Research, although, you know what? Maybe we don't. I actually think yeah, okay, this is what I was talking about. If I Professor Research and I get nothing that I can play, this might make them red card, and I don't want them to red card me before I've played Misty. Before I've played Starmie. So I think I'm actually going to play the Misty now. Of course, Zero. This is the world we live in. If you're a Misty player, you accept that it's almost a roll of the dice. We are going to chip away at this Kangaskhan though. Not too bad at all. Now, what will be interesting is if they resist the temptation to put one energy on Kangaskhan for Dizzy Punch. Because Kangaskhan's meant to be a tank, but it's a tank you don't want to put energy on a lot of the time. And if you do put energy on it, sometimes, of course, there you go. You're going to flip coins well, right? And it's going to be great. If they take out the Staryu, it is what it is. But when that misses, you've put a tank out to buy you time to gain energy on your main win condition. And then you've spent a turn not gaining energy for a maybe chance at doing something. Okay, we survived. It's a little bit spicy, I'm not going to lie. I was worried that we were going to take a big hit there. Okay, what have we got? We've got Blastoise EX. Okay, so start with the Professor Research. We know we're going to evolve the Starmie, no problemo. We get Squirtle, Wartortle. So these get instantly dumped. We put one energy on the Wartortle, of course, building up to this Blastoise EX. We drop the Starmie. I'd love another Star. I wish this was a Staryu, honestly. Because when you start having both Starmies out, swapping, potentially chipping away damage for free, it starts to be pretty powerful. But we do have 60, which means they're going to have to roll double heads to take this out. Whereas we are going to take down the Kangaskhan next turn if there's no potions, of course. Like, again, all terms of damage dealing is all in relative of do they have potion, do they have Giovanni, etc. See, now though, they are going to start stacking this Mewtwo. A double Tails would be perfect because it means that when the Mewtwo comes in, the deal 50 doesn't actually take down the Starmie. I'd love a double Tails. We roll Tails on Misty all the time. Surely I'm owed one back. There's one. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We're still one up here. And we are ramping. Ooh. This is tricky. So we have a red card option. We are going to evolve as well, definitely. We have a red card option. And the problem with this is we can red card, reduce the cards they've got down, great. But they didn't evolve the routes, which means they don't have it. However, they've got 5, they're going to have 6 cards in hand. I think we play it and reduce them down. Although we are kind of all in at this point. I think we just take this gamble. Yeah, though. Yeah, this is why I'd have loved the second Starmie. Because we could have potentially retreated, put the other Starmie in, attacked, and then they have like multiple 40 damage Starmies to deal with. But we are just going to take out the Kangaskhan. We have the Squirtle on the bench to soak, a turn or so's worth of damage, potentially, whilst the Blastoise gets juiced up. And then we deal with the Mewtwo with one Hydro Bazooka, as we like to do. Mewtwo EX going to come in. What we just don't want to see is the evolve on the routes. Oh, I actually think we bring Blastoise in now that he'll be on 3 energy. We Hydro Bazooka for 100. And they can't heal out of it, right? They have to do something dramatic. And they did nothing else. This is pretty good for us. they'll have to like retreat the Mewtwo, and they don't know we don't play Sabrina. Okay, we did get research. So a Staryu, the Staryu's probably lost its power now because retreating Blastoise is kind of a pain because he's a bit of a chunky boy. I'm going to put Blastoise in. Hydro Bazooka for 100. And now they might just be in trouble. And again, the Staryu into Starmie just dealing with Kangaskhan, even though it took a couple of hits. The second Kangaskhan misses one more coin flip, the Staryu would still be alive. It just does more damage and gets more annoying. I found this deck to be quite good against Mewtwo EX, honestly. Yes, are there worlds where if they have Gardevoir, they start doing tons of damage? Yes, and sometimes it's too fast, sometimes. However, the same can be said is if we do one good Misty, we're too fast for them, right? Because Blastoise does just one-tap Mewtwo with the buffed Hydro Bazooka. So I think this matchup is pretty good. Yeah, there's going to be the concede. And again, Starmie into Staryu just dealing with that Kangaskhan very quickly for an investment of, yes, 2 slots because it's Staryu and Starmie, but with an investment of 1 energy. And if we wanted, it could have dipped for 0 cost at any point. So yeah, really powerful. I feel like no one else is really pushing or playing Blastoise. I've heard other creators talk about, oh, these are the top lists, and they're just listing the card pack characters. So no, focus on Blastoise. He's awesome. And so is Starmie in both effects. I'll be checking out. I've played some Starmie EX now that I finally got it today. I'll be making some Starmie EX decks, of course, but I think regular Starmie with this Blastoise definitely ticks some boxes. But yeah, that is going to be it for the video. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.